In today's video, we're taking a look at a new budget but pretty powerful RGB light, NEEWER FS150C. And I'll be comparing it to my Sokani X60 because they're really close in pricing, so let's take a closer look. What's good guys, my name is Oleg Nikitin, you're watching No Limits On channel, and I need to say that NEEWER is also producing not only 150C but also 300C, which is a more powerful model. But as you can tell from this chart, 150C is actually a little bit brighter than 300C in the red channel. So if you are only using the red LEDs, the 150C will be brighter. And throughout this video, I'll have a lot of data which was taken by my friend Andre from the channel You Are The Videographer, and big thanks and shout out to his channel and his work, because he did make a lot of tests with the spectrometer, and I'll be showing you those results in a little bit. But as for now guys, let's compare the Sokani X60, which was my main light for the RGB stuff. So if you see some colorful backgrounds on my channel, they're all shot with the Sokani, and now let's compare it to the NEEWER 150C. And of course, we'll first compare the RGB modes. You can read the settings in the lower part of the image, and we have no reflectors installed, using only the red RGBs at 100% brightness. And as you can tell, Sokani is only 60 watts, but it's keeping up with the NEEWER, which is 150 watts, so the red channel is pretty good on the Sokani. And now let's have a look at the quality of the light beam, and I can tell that it is pretty flawless, and it has a very gentle fall off towards the edges. On the NEEWER, we have a wider beam, a wider spread, and it's also really even and nicely looking, no outer membrane, nothing crazy. Both lights will be great if you want to have a colorful background, like I'm using the Sokani all the time on my channel. Here is the green, and as you can tell, we have much brighter green on the NEEWER, so if the red channel was okay and comparable, the green one is a lot brighter on the NEEWER. In terms of the quality of the light beam on the NEEWER and on the Sokani, they are really similar. The Sokani seems a bit more saturated and vibrant because we have lower output, and for that reason the light seems to be a bit more saturated. But the NEEWER would look more saturated and vibrant if I had lower exposure, for example if I had lower ISO value. In terms of the light beam, we have a brighter area in the middle and very gentle fall off towards the edges, like it. And the weakest spot of the Sokani light is the blue channel, and as you can tell, we have a difference of about 2 to 3 times in terms of the output with the blue channel, and the NEEWER is a lot brighter. In terms of the quality of the light beam, Sokani is showing great results, no outer membrane and very even spread, and the NEEWER is showing a bit more pronounced brighter spot in the middle and a very gentle fall off towards the edges. Both results are great for fulfilling with light some backgrounds. And here I'm comparing two colors, blue plus red, and we get something like magenta or purple color. And here the difference in output is also pretty dramatic. The quality of the light beam is not that great on the Sokani anymore because we have a pretty colorful outer membrane. As you can tell, we have like a blue color there, but the NEEWER is showing great results. We have a very even spread, and NEEWER did a great job in terms of mixing the colors and having some frosted glass in front of the elements, so it gives you a very even and nicely looking background coloration, let me say. But things get different when we start using kit reflectors. The thing is that Sokani does have a pretty weird combination of the RGB LEDs, and as you can tell from this example, we have a very pronounced hotspot with the Sokani, which is not the case with the NEEWER at all. So let's have a closer look at the NEEWER performance with the kit reflector, and let me say this is the best kit reflector performance I've ever seen on an RGB light. The beam is super even, very nice, no outer membrane, nothing, super clean. But with the Sokani, let me say it's a disaster, because you can see a very pronounced hotspot and kind of onion ringing throughout the whole range of the light beam, and a very pronounced outer membrane. The same goes for the green channel. As you can tell, we have a super pronounced hotspot, onion ringing, not super bright as well. The NEEWER light is a lot brighter in green department with the kit reflector as well. And as you can tell, the NEEWER is simply perfect with the green color and the reflector. The Sokani light unfortunately doesn't show great performance in any color, so basically RGB, any color 360 degrees of hues. It is showing weird results with any reflector. I've tried not only the kit reflector but different reflectors, and all of them show similar results, like for example this super pronounced hotspot with the blue color, and as you can tell, it is not super bright as well, only the hotspot is slightly brighter than the entirety of the frame of the NEEWER with the kit reflector. And as you can see, the NEEWER shows great results in all the lights and combinations. Here you can see the Sokani results, and they are simply not usable. That is why I'm not using the Sokani light with any reflectors. I simply use it bare bones. And finally, let's have a look at the blue plus red channels, 100% brightness. And here you can see a super hot spot in the middle with the Sokani. and a very even and nicely looking beam with the Neewer, and the difference in output is also pretty dramatic. In terms of the quality of the light, no matter we are mixing two lights together, the blue and the red, still the Neewer shows great results, super nice performance, and here you can see the Sokani light, which is not perfect. It is actually the least pretty RGB light with the kit reflector that I've seen, but still I'm using it bare bones all the time and I'm okay with this. Okay guys, that's it about the RGB comparisons, but now let's compare it to three other lights in the CCT range, the warm and cool LEDs, and I'll be comparing it to Nice Photo, which is the 200 watt bicolor light. Then we have the same Sokani light, which is RGB WW, so it has warm, cool, and RGB LEDs. Then we have the Neewer, as I said, and then we have the super compact cold bore light, which is the bicolor and 100 watts of draw. The settings are written in the lower part of the image, and we're not using any reflectors as for now, and as you can tell, Nice Photo and Neewer are really close, and the Sokani is the least bright. And if we take a look at the waveform, we can see that the Neewer is actually brighter than the Nice Photo light, no matter that the Neewer is 150 watts and the Nice Photo is 200 watts. The thing is that, guys, watts are only the power draw of the light, but it's not the actual output, not the actual brightness of the light. In this example, you can see that the 200 watt light from Nice Photo is not as bright as the Neewer 150. And that is why, guys, I'm always doing those comparisons between different lights so we can better understand the real output and the real brightness of different lights. And if we compare the 3200 Kelvin value, we have the same results. The Neewer is actually brighter than the Nice Photo, no matter it's only 150 watts compared to 200 watts. And now we're taking a look at the kit reflectors. The ISO was 3200 and now it is lowered to 640. And with the kit reflector of the Nice Photo, we can see that we have a very pronounced hotspot, and it is slightly brighter in the hotspot than the Neewer, but the Neewer has a very even spread and all in all better output with the kit reflector. And if we take a look more closely to the reflector performances, you can tell that the Nice Photo is having real issues with a very pronounced hotspot, outer membranes, and all in all not constant output and light beam. Pretty bad results. The same goes for the Sokani, so it works pretty poor with the kit reflector in the RGB mode, and the same goes for the white mode. The warm and the cool light, it's not the best performance I've seen, but the best performance I've seen is from Neewer, guys. As you can tell, we have a very nice spread, no outer membrane, super nice, no hotspot, just perfect, let me say, perfect. I've never seen such a good performance, guys, from a kit reflector, to be honest. And here we have the cold bore. It has a super tiny kit reflector. It's not a Bones mount light, it's a mini Bones light. But still we have pretty nice results. It's a small beam, it has a pretty pronounced hotspot as well, but all in all, it's a good result. It's like a second place, and the Neewer is definitely in the first place. And here I have the 90 centimeter softbox at 1 meter away from me. You can read the settings as well. The white balance is changed because of the softbox itself, it's changing the white balance. But as you can tell, guys, the Neewer still has the biggest output, and also I do prefer the skin tones from the Neewer, so it has better color reproduction as well. And now let's listen to the cooling fans, so I'll insert the Neewer in between different lights. And also, guys, I'd like to mention that the Neewer is completely flicker free, so I'm going from 1/1000th of a second to 1/8000th of a second and have zero issues with the flicker. And here are the numbers of the NEEWER FS150C compared to FS300C, taken with a spectrometer by my big friend Andrew from the channel You Are The Videographer. So guys, you can pause the video at any moment and have a closer look at those numbers, and huge shout out to Andrew who did this amazing job. And now guys, let's walk through the kit. First of all, you get the carrying bag. It's a pretty nicely made bag. It's not super big, but the materials and the quality of sewing is simply great. Inside the bag, we have a lot of foam, so it's highly protected, and we have all the accessories that you need. For example, here we have the super nice kit reflector with a little bit of foam, and you put one fist to another. The kit reflector is super nicely made, and it's great in terms of the light beam, as you saw from my test. Here we have the power brick, which is 158 watts of power. It's not super heavy and not super big as well. Here we have the cord, and the total length of the cords is about 3 meters. It could have been better, but still it's pretty nice. We also have a little kind of tissue which you can put on the front of the reflector, but since we have super nice and even beam with the reflector itself, I would not use it. We also have the protective cap, and the light itself is mostly made out of ABS plastic and metal in the most important parts of the construction, like the Bowens mount, the yoke, the part where the yoke attaches to the light itself, and the cooling fan as well. So it's mostly made out of metal, to be honest, and the construction is really nice. Here is the coolant vent, as you can tell, and here we have the metal construction underneath the light. We also have a very sturdy yoke, and it is easy to use the yoke as well. And we also have the umbrella mount. I really enjoy using umbrellas on my client shoots. We also have an on-off switch and the XLR DC connector, so you can use it with V-mount batteries, but you need to purchase a separate cable. And here you can see the frosted glass and the elements inside of it. And now let's have a look at how to operate this light. So here we have the channel and Bluetooth switch, so you can control it with the app or with the remote control, which you can purchase separately. And with the mode button, you can switch through the different modes, and we have a lot of those in this light. So the control knobs are controlling the temperature. For example, the right one controls the temperature from 7500 Kelvin to 2500 Kelvin, and we have a huge range of green magenta shifts, so you can exactly dial in the amount of green and magenta and mix and match this light with other lights in your kit. Then we have the intensity knob on the left, and here you can see that we can go in 1% increments. Here we have the HSI mode, and the control knobs are vice versa for some reason. So the intensity is on the left, but it shows on the right the intensity on the screen. And the knob on the right is controlling the hue and the saturation. Also, we have a lot of different effects, more than 15 effects, and they're highly customizable. You have about 10 frequencies, and you have different color options, but it's more easy to control those through the mobile app. And if you press and hold the menu button, you can go into the main menu and change the dimming curve. We have 4 different options for this, and we have the fan mode, but in auto it works super silently, so no worries here. We also have the mobile app, and you can add multiple devices to this app. You can have them in groups if you use the lights by NEEWER. They even have kind of a simulation of the DMX functionality, which is so nice. And you have different kind of tabs, CCT, light sources, light match, etc. And you have the classic controls like the Kelvin controls, the green magenta controls, the dimming curve controls, etc. So we have a lot of things going on in here. We also have the like presets like the cloudy weather, tungsten, even the HMIs, for example. We also have the source match. We have the CTOs and CTBs, color temperature orange, color temperature blue in different values. We also have the HSI mode, which is so easy to use and so handy. We also have the RGB classic, when you only control the R, the G and the Bs. And then you have your classic Lee and Roscoe gels. If you use those, I'm not sure how accurate they are, but it is an option in this light as well. You have the color picker, so you can use the camera of your smartphone to pick a certain color, and it will reevaluate this color and show it to you. And then we have a ton of different effects, as you can tell from this example, and you can customize even the sparks from the explosion and the speed of the explosion, the green magenta shift and the CCT and the brightness of it. So it's a very customizable, guys. The effects are nice, smooth, and the quality is great. So for effects, I also give this light a thumbs up. And finally, guys, you can change the name of the device, and you can update the firmware through the app, which is also a very nice touch. A great app. And to me, guys, the only advantage of the Sokani light compared to the NEEWER light is actually the size and weight and the build quality as well, because Sokani is made out of metal completely, like 100% metal. The Sokani light itself is only about 1300 grams, whereas the NEEWER is about 1800 grams. And when we add all the cords and the power bricks, the Sokani is about 1650 grams compared to almost 2.5 kilograms on the NEEWER light. Other than that, all the advantages go to the NEEWER light. And finally, let's take a look at the prices, the Sokani light is $200 right now on B&H, the NEEWER light is $230, and in my opinion, adding $30 for this good of a light is a no-brainer, but now on the NEEWER's website, we have a very nice discount of 30% off, and it's actually less than $200 when you apply this coupon code, and it's a no-brainer deal. There is also one of my favorite lights, NEEWER FS150C, and it's now $250 with a discount, but previously it was $360. So just imagine in a couple of years to get a light which is almost as good or even slightly better. I'm talking about the NEEWER FS150C compared to the NEEWER FS150C for almost 2 times less money than it was 2 years ago with the NEEWER light. So it's a no-brainer and I can highly recommend this light. And if you did enjoy this video, guys, smash the like and subscribe buttons and hit the notifications bell. And right here I have a review of my favorite NEEWER's tripod, which is carbon fiber and super lightweight. You can check this video right here. Thank you so much for watching. See you. Take care. Bye.